At Petco tonight, the Padres' new catcher, Derek Norris, has hit safely in each game, plus has shown an attractive abundance of grit and hustle. The Giants' 3-1 start, getting extra base power, 4 doubles and a triple from Angel Pagan. They're set to go. Petco, another big crowd.
It'll be a bit cool tonight as we come to you from Petco Park. This is a 4-game series, and this is game 2. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krupko. Giants won a very exciting 1-0 game in extra innings last night, and it propels them into a start for Tim Lincecum. And the one thing about Lincecum, win, lose, or draw, usually pitches well against these Padres.
Well, an 18-6 lifetime record against these Padres with a 2.27 ERA. I mean, that is really great numbers. And the thing about Lincecum, it seems like if he's in the middle of a slump, when he would get a start against the Padres, he would always find a great rhythm. Well, the Giants are hoping that continues tonight. No reason to believe that it will not, because he had a great spring throwing every pitch, the best spring that we've seen him have in the last 5 years, and we hope it carries over and they continue this momentum.
Lincecum had 12 wins last year, 5 against the Padres. He went 5-0 against San Diego. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
San Diego State basketball team.
Welcome back to San Diego. Game 2 again.
0-1, 0-2 on a hitter who has not had any success. You've got him. You've got all of a sudden the mind starts playing. And I think you have to play defense behind him and make sure you don't give them any extra outs, because Timmy's always a high pitch count guy. So if you catch the ball, it's not going to be 8 or 9 more pitches to get another out. It'll save the bullpen, because he's not only playing for today, you're playing for the next 10, 11 games in a row as well. They got to, Boch manages that way too.
You know, last year when he pitched well, he pitched backwards. You got to have his breaking stuff and finish you off with fastball. We shall see. We have the marriage ceremony is concluded in time. We can have the honeymoon now. Giants baseball against the Padres.
Your dad's got to write a check first.
Brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code ORANGE for free entry.
Friday night baseball here at Petco Park. Giants, Padres. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open for spring break until Sunday. 62 degrees here at the yard. Winds are calm. Humidity is at 69%, and it is cloudy on a cool night. Brendan Morrow is out on the mound taking his warm-up pitches. This is the lineup that he's going to face. It'll be Aoki, Panic, and then Angel Pagan. He has 6 hits this season, and 4 of them have been for extra base hits, 5 of them with the triple. So it'll be Posey, Crawford, and then Casey McGee. Hitting in the 7th slot will be Blanco, Hector Sanchez catching and hitting 8th, and Lincecum, of course, 9th.
On the hill tonight for the San Diego Padres will be the right-hander Brandon Morrow. Morrow, 30 years old, born in Santa Rosa, came out of Cal's baseball program. His 8th year at the big league level. 6'3", 210-pounder. And take a look at what he did last year. And really had a problem with health. He tore a tendon sheath in his right hand, kind of put him on the shelf. But when he's right, you're going to see a low to mid-90s fastball. He will sink. He'll cut it. Got a hard curveball, slider, and split. All of his specialty pitches he can strike you out with. Throws out of a high three-quarter release. He's only had one start against the Giants. That was back in 2010. Had a no decision. The Padres are hoping that this guy can find some health and come back to what he was in previous years. And he has always been a strikeout guy. With Toronto in 2011, he had 203 strikeouts in 179 innings. Averages over 9 strikeouts per inning. Let's take a look at the Padres defense playing behind Morrow, and you can see where they were last year. The outfield from left to right will be Upton, Myers, and Kemp by way of Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and Los Angeles. On the left side of the infield, it is Amarista and Spangenberg, Jerko and Alonso on the right side, and Derek Norris of the A's last year. He will be in the squad, putting down the signs. So a lot of change in the personnel here in San Diego. They were very busy this winter.
Here's Nori Aoki to lead things off. Aoki, Panic, and Pagan facing Brandon Morrow. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's a bit wide. So we get started at 7-11. Aoki last night went 1 for 3. And there's a strike, and it's called by home plate umpire Vic Carapazza.
Carapazza's got a big strike zone. He's a good strike zone for pitchers. He looks for strikes.
And that pitch is down low, no swing. It is not Greg Gibson behind the plate. We had bad information yesterday, and we had Greg Gibson catching or umpiring the whole game behind the plate, and it turned out that the Padres PR department had got bad information, and it was Trip Gibson. There's a base hit up the middle, and that opens up the ball game.
Aoki continues to have a good road trip.
I kept thinking that Greg Gibson was actually watching the game, thinking, what? That's not me.
Well, we are positive that Vic Carapazza is behind home plate tonight.
Panic hitting .250. He's 3 for 12 on the season. He took an 0 for 4 last night. And here he takes one wide. Now Morrow right off the bat thought that was a strike. Angel Pagan to follow. Aoki extends his lead. And that pitch is high. So right out of the gate, Aoki gets Morrow in the stretch, which is always a good thing. Foul back.
But it's true. You are a bit vulnerable at the start of a game. You haven't really locked into the feel of the mound. You really don't know what all your pitchers are going to be doing. No guarantee if you have great stuff in the bullpen that's going to carry on to the main diamond. So if that leadoff hitter gets on base and the guy gets in the stretch right away, there's a little bit of uncertainty that can surround a pitcher.
Runner goes. Swinging a foul down the left field line.
Morrow can be quick out of the stretch. He can be very, very slow. And because of that, he's not that easy to steal off of. He mixes his times, but if you guess right and he goes with the high leg kick, you're going to get a second and a half to get a good jump on. Average unload time, acceptable unload time at the big league level is 1.25 seconds. you're over that, as he can be, 1.5, 1.6, that's slow. That favors a runner.
Pulled foul.
But that unload time right there, 1.18 seconds. That's very good.
By the way, a few more Giants fans here tonight than yesterday.
Yeah, a little more orange and black. Over the years, we've grown accustomed to seeing so many Giants fans down here that we were a little surprised yesterday when we really had to look for them.
They are walking around town. I know that. Maybe they just couldn't get tickets left yesterday. Got him. We'll watch to see if Pagano and Norris will make up. See if Pagano's chewing any gum.
He is.
Pagano last night went 1 for 5. His only hit was the triple he hit in the 9th inning off of Kimbrel. Overall, off to a nice start, hitting at .333.
Yesterday's ballgame, there was a minor confrontation between Derek Norris and Angel Pagano. Not a big deal. Bruce Bochy called it silly. But there is a little friction between the two. It was interesting because it all happened with Craig Kimbrel, the hard-throwing relief pitcher for the Padres. And on the second pitch of the at-bat, there was a ball that went up at 97 miles per hour around the chin of Pagano. On a 3-2 count, the same at-bat, he tripled. So it was kind of a macho at-bat.
Way out in front. 1 ball and 1 strike. Buster Posey to follow. Okie opened up the game with a base hit. He's still at first. And Okie gets back on the dive. Giants do not have a stolen base this year. McGee has been the only one that has been thrown out. Giants didn't run a lot last year, and they probably will not run a lot this year. And the pitch is just wide. 2 balls and 1 strike. Giants have won 3 of the first 4 games. And it's just the opposite for the Padres. They have dropped 3 of their first 4. Back. Good grip by Pagano. It's 2-2. That was the one you wanted to hit because at some point that changeup is going to come back.
Yeah, and well, he's really got 3 ways he can strike you out. He's kind of like Lincecum. You know, he's a high 3/4 release. Doesn't have a lot of movement with the fastball. He's pretty straight. That last fastball at 95. But the curveball, slider, and the split are all strikeout pitches. And that's pretty much how you would describe Lincecum. Only Lincecum doesn't quite have the 95 miles per hour anymore.
And a line drive, and this will be a double play. So Aoki got a little too far off, and that's how the top of the first inning ends. So Lincecum coming out. Padres are coming up. It's 0-0. And the lineup that'll be facing Tim Lincecum. It'll be Myers in the leadoff spot, then Spangenberg and Kemp. Upton is the cleanup hitter. And you can see he's got power. Norris will hit in the 5th slot. Then it's Alonso, Jerko, and Amarista. And Brandon Morrow will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Tim Lincecum, 5'11", 170-pounder. He's 30 years old. He's in his 8th year at the big league level. This is what he has done recently. Last year, a 12-9 record with a 4.74 ERA. However, against the Padres last year, he was a perfect 5-0 with a 1.40 ERA, and has always had ownage on San Diego.
First pitch. Myers did this last night. He swung at the first pitch, and Pagan puts it away.
He's looking for one thing, and he gets it. Trying to cherry pick. Let's take a look at that defense behind Lincecum. Starting in the Giants outfield for Buster Ryder will be Aoki, Pagan, and Polanco. Crawford and McGee on the left side. Panic and Posey on the right side, and Hector Sanchez. He'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. Lincecum, a fastball that'll go 90-ish, low 90s, high 80s, somewhere in there. He will 4-2 seam it. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a split.
So it's Spangenberg instead of Middlebrooks, and there's a strike. If you were going to throw a lineup out against Lincecum, would you stack it with lefties, or doesn't it matter?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You know, the thing about Lincecum that makes him unique is his deception. You don't see a motion like him, and it's a lot of elbows and kneecaps flying at you from different angles, and he's right over the top. And all 3 of his especially pitches, the curveball, the slider, and the split, when he gets them going, they all have straight down bite, and that's effective for both righties and lefties.
And the fastball is 81 miles per hour, so that was not a fastball.
Hunter Pence, Madison Bumgarner talking it over.
Bumgarner will pitch on Saturday. Just outside, 2-2.
You get the feeling that Hunter Pence is getting to that boiling point. He is pretty tired of the disabled list.
Yeah, absolutely. Get on the ground foul. Look, you and I have been there, and it's like you're a forgotten person.
You become an insignificant other. And it's true. And even if you aren't, I mean, Hunter Pence has got street cred when it comes to baseball reputation. But yet when you're not playing, you don't feel like you're contributing, and you can grow quiet.
Cued, and it's going to come back, and it's going to be a base hit.
Wow. Well, you know what? I think a hitter should do that. He should smile when he gets a hit like that. This is one of the funkiest base hits. As it goes off the tip of the bat, it goes foul, and then watch the spin bring it back into play. Casey McGee tries to pick it up. There was so much spinach on it, he still couldn't get a grip on it. That's funky.
Here's Kemp. Kemp takes down low. Kemp hitting .294. Kemp is 5 for 17 on the season. Overshift is on for Kemp, and this is going to sail into the seats.
Talk about the ownage that Lincecum has had on the Padres throughout his career. You can see the ERA. The National League 3.86. Padres 2.27. His walks and hits per innings pitched 1.29. That's still pretty good. 1.10 though. That's really good. And then the Padres hitting 193 lifetime against him, against 241 for the rest of the league.
Foul back. Kemp, his career against Lincecum, he's 12 for 50. He's got 2 doubles and 19 strikeouts. Spangenberg with the infield hit. He's at first. Buster Posey holding him tight. He goes. And a bouncing ball to McGee from deep third. His throw, perfect. And Posey's going to go to third, and it's not in time. Well, after making a couple of errors last night, how about getting one that's a little tricky right off the bat for McGee?
It really brought him back to try and feel the backhand at a high position. And Kemp runs pretty well. With one out, concentration was to the out at first. If there's nobody out, he's got to look that runner back and make him stop. But Spangenberg very aggressive, taking on Buster Posey.
So here's Upton.
Third base.
Upton 1 for 5 last night. It's now up to Sanchez to block everything that's in the dirt. And there's a strike. And Upton with a little smile. He's 11 for 54 against Lincecum. 4 doubles, a triple, and 19 strikeouts. Gonna miss.
88-mile-an-hour fastball. You say, well, how can you throw an 88-mile-an-hour fastball by a big league hitter? Easy. Deception. And that's what Lincecum has always had. Is just an unusual delivery. You don't see it very often if you're a hitter.
Very high. Remember, it was a couple of years ago, right at the end of the season, that Lincecum let one fly and it hit Upton in the helmet. Not just the helmet, it actually hit Upton with the helmet on his head. Got him.
All fastballs.
Buster Posey's going to lead things off. We're in San Diego, and it's 0-0.
Selected the first round from the Pac-10 or Pac-12 conference. Overall selection: Greg Reynolds from Stanford went to the Rockies. Morrow from Cal went to the Mariners. Lincecum went to the Giants, of course, from Washington. Ian Kennedy out of SC went to the Yankees, and David Huff out of UCLA went to Indians. And yes, Brandon Morrow was drafted ahead of Tim Lincecum. And that's your cold hard facts, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Here's Buster Posey. Posey hitting .267. That's 4 for 15. And he shoots it into left center field, and that's going to fall. Well, second inning in a row, the Giants put their leadoff hitter on, and here's Brandon Crawford.
You look at Tim Lincecum, you could see why 9 teams passed on him, because he did not have the typical starter in a big league body. And he's 5'11", 170 pounds, and it was a concern of the scouts as to whether or not he could absorb the workload. But boy, has he really been durable in his career. And he proved a lot of people wrong. 2-time Cy Young Award winner.
Here's Crawford hitting at .278, a home run, 3 runs batted in on the season. And he takes low and away. Crawford is 5 for 18, and he went 0 for 5 last night. But you go 0 for 5 and you play the defense like he did, it's like going 5 for 5.
He is off to a sensational start with the bat, with the glove.
Off the end of the bat, foul.
You know, he's so consistent with the leather that you take him for granted. And then every once in a while he'll do something even more spectacular than what you get to watch him do every day. And he did it yesterday in a double play that he and Joe Panic turned. Where he went down on his belly going to his left and just glove flipped it to Panic, and they got the pair. Spectacular play.
Foul back.
Now we're going to make it our Ford right choice. That's how good it was. It was yesterday when Crawford got the flip double play in the 5th inning. Jed Jerko hit it with nobody out. Runners at first and second. And thanks to this defensive brilliance, the Giants got out of a jam, and the inning ended up with a 0 for the Padres. Tim Hudson was digging it.
Pulled foul. The line on Hudson. He went 6 1/3, allowed 5 hits. He walked 5, which was unusual. He struck out 1, but the one thing he got is he threw double play balls.
High marks for this infield, by the way, from the Giants infielders.
Got him.
Split, and it's a movement that runs away from a lefty. It's always been a great strikeout for Morrow against lefties. Oh, that's nasty right there. Perfect location.
I don't know if you mentioned it, Mike, but Morrow last year had 6 starts. He had 7 relief appearances, and he missed a lot of the season. Torn tendon in his right hand. That's never good if you're a right-handed pitcher.
The problem with it in your throwing hand is that when you snap your wrist and you release your pitch, you're going to have pain. And what pitchers do is they throw around that pain. And when you do that, you overload your elbow or your shoulder, and you have bigger injuries.
McGee chasing.
Steady diet of off-speed stuff, especially on that first pitch to Casey McGee in this series. And really, we saw the same thing in Arizona as well.
A quick 0-1 to Casey McGee. And now it's nothing in 2. McGee is 5 for 17. He's got a home run and 2 runs batted in.
Definitely a pitcher strike, that last fastball.
Went 1 for 5 last night.
And there's the split. Talked about how effective that pitch is against both righties and lefties, and here's a clear example of it. Comes out of his hand and just dies as you commit to it. 3 strikeouts here already and 5 outs for Morrow.
So here's Blanco. Blanco was the only member of the Giants that got in the game last night that got more than one hit. He went 2 for 4. Only 13 hits last night by both teams in a game that went 12 innings, and it took 4 hours and 5 minutes to play it. Posey back. Posey opened up the inning with a base hit. And a big chopper, and this will end the inning. 2 strikeouts and a ground ball, and it'll be Derek Norris to lead things off when we come back.
Is brought to you by Bay Area Mini.
0-0. Bottom of the second inning with Derek Norris to lead things off. Norris takes a bit wide. He went 1 for 5 last night. He's 6 for 18 on the season. And he's never taken an at bat against Tim Lincecum. Not a called strike.
This pitch there, flopping that curveball over to steal a strike and a 1-0 count. And that's something that he did not always have the ability to do the last couple of years. Rely on all of his specialty pitches, especially behind the count and fastball counts. There were times when his fastball would be erratic, and really the only pitch that he could count on getting in the strike zone was a slider. But this spring he showed up and he had a great command of all of his pitches. Spent time with his father in the offseason. His father Chris said he got his hand in a more power position behind the ball. He's throwing on a different plane now. He doesn't have a hump in his breaking ball. So accustomed to seeing him throw a half dozen pitches that would bounce 5-6 feet out in front of home plate. Not an easy guy to catch.
So 0-2 to 3-2.
But the thing about Lincecum, I mean, even when the days when he just had no command, he never quit. I mean, he would always battle it. I mean, he's as competitive as anybody we've ever seen come through Mike Murphy's clubhouse.
And he walked in. Opening night Tuesday, April 14th. Giants will honor Madison Bumgarner for his great postseason last year. The first 40,000 fans. They're going to receive a bobblehead commemorating Mad Bum's NLCS and World Series MVPs, and it's courtesy of AAA. sfgiants.com/tickets. So here's Alonso. With Norris at first. And this breaking ball has popped back and out of play.
Now, he swung about as hard as he threw it. But we're seeing some aggressiveness on the Padres' part on that first pitch against Lincecum. They're getting up there and they're hacking. I doubt he's going to go up there looking for that curveball first pitch.
Absolutely not. Posey steps on the bag. Crawford's got to tag the runner, and he does, and that's a double play.
Now you see Posey make a play like that, you think he plays first base every day. I mean, that's perfect footwork. And it's a great tip for a lot of young players. If you're playing first base, if you're within that bag of 1 or 2 steps, and you can go over a step on the bag, get the force, and make that throw in time for the tag, that's the way to put the play on. Executed perfectly.
Here's Jed Jerko. Fastball for a strike. Jerko in that extra inning game last night went 1 for 5. And he takes that pitch high. He's 3 for 9 in his career against Lincecum.
Yeah,
Bottom of the second inning.
Jerko's got lots of power and he likes that ball up. Good mistake hitter.
Taps it foul. It's 1-2. And now Jerko asks for time. Two and 2. Got him. 2 strikeouts for Lincecum. And Hector Sanchez will lead things off.
Maxwell officially became a Giant with a 3-2 challenge on a cutter. He sends it right back up the middle. It would push Brandon Crawford across the plate, scored the only run of the ball game. The Giants would go on to be victorious. That is our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. Welcome to San Francisco, Mr. Maxwell.
Here's Hector Sanchez to lead things off. Strike to Hector Sanchez. He's 3 for 7 on the season, or make that 3 for 8 on the season. He's got an RBI. Overshift is on, and there's a called strike. Nothing in 2. And a strikeout. Here's our Geico quote. It comes from Bruce Bochy on picking between Belt and Maxwell to pinch hit in the 12th. Of course, Bumgarner was down there waiting too. I don't think there's any doubt that that was true. He had put on a display in batting practice today that every time we heard a loud crack, we would look down and it was Bumgarner hitting one into the seats.
He's amazing. Here's a scud. First time I ever heard that term scud applied to a ball that bounced out in front of home plate. It was with Jeremy Affeldt. He was describing a pitch that he had thrown.
On the ground, one hopper to Spangenberg. 2 outs. And here's Oakland.
Scuds are not much fun for catchers. Farther out front of home plate that it bounces, the tougher it is to predict a hop, especially on fastballs and split finger fastballs.
Aoki opened up the ball game with a base hit right back up the middle. And here he looks at a strike.
Be interesting to see what type of adjustments the Giants make the second time through the lineup against Morrow.
And that's rolled foul. 1 ball or make it nothing in 2.
Because right now, I mean, he's let the Giants know that he can throw all of his pitches over for strikes. And you've got 3 weapons, really 4 if you count the fastball, that can strike you out. And you want to stay out of that 2-strike situation, which will cause a team to be more aggressive early in the count.
Tomorrow with a couple of strikeouts here in the 3rd. Lincecum will come back out. It's 0-0. The 8th place hitter, Alexei Amarista, to bat first. And he takes down low.
Giants take away the bunt at third base with McGee playing it in the grass. Other than that, pretty straight away.
Two and 0 to Amarista. Strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Amarista 2 for 18 against Lincecum lifetime. Not close. 3 and 1.
Yeah, pretty easy take right there. I think great about this ballpark is they have a lot of robo cameras around that are in high places because of all the buildings that surround Petco Park. It really gives you some unique visions of this great ballpark.
Panic on a casual backhand. Nice play. Here's our AT&T Uverse Rewind. It happened on July 13th, 2013, right here. It was a great play by Pence robbing Amarista. That game was in the 8th inning, and this was the final out. Alonso hit a fly ball to Blanco. And on our AT&T Uverse Rewind, we love to watch the Lincecum Buster Hugs. Morrow with a big swing and a miss.
Well, of the 2 no-hitters, I mean, one was kind of stressful, and the other one really wasn't that stressful. I think he had 149 pitches in one, or close to it. And he literally was like 1 pitch away from having been taken out of the game because of that pitch count. But Lincecum got it done. It's the most pitches that any pitcher threw that year in all of the big leagues in one game.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy and Dave Righetti were high stress that night.
Well, there you see the comparatives. July 13th, 2013, 148 pitches, 13 strikeouts. June 25th of last year, just cruising, 113 pitches. And there really wasn't a definitive great play like there was in the 2013 one. What a career this guy's had.
Remember, Lincecum,
good one,
was on Barry Bonds. Bonds' last season was Lincecum's first.
Go back to June 25th of last year. This was the last out of Lincecum's second no-hitter. And that time he got a Hector Sanchez hug.
That would have been great. Buster Posey was playing at first. But Buster kind of snuck in there ahead of Sanchez. McGee gets the one hopper, and that'll end the inning. So Myers bounces out. We played 3, much like last night. Nothing.
ceremony game on April 18th are now available exclusively at any one of your Giants dugout store locations. So don't miss out on this limited edition collection. Remember, the 2010 and 2012 gold jerseys sold out, so get yours now. That's the majestic gold jerseys and the new era on-field gold cap on sale right now at Giants dugout stores.
Here's Joe Panik in a 0-0 ball game. Panik struck out in the first inning after Aoki had singled. Pagan and then Posey here in the fourth. Swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Brandon Morrow. Lincecum chatting. Amarista. Panik retired.
This is the relationship that Sanchez and Lincecum have. I mean, they'll exchange ideas all the way through the game, and if something works, it gets a strikeout, they'll both enjoy it. One thing about Lincecum, I mean, he has probably the softest game face of any of the Giants starters. He's very approachable before a game, during a game.
Here's Pagan, who lined into a double play. And he takes a strike. Since the Buster Posey base hit in the second, Morrow has retired 7 straight.
Yeah, Giants need to get him back in the stretch. They haven't been able to do that. I mean, right now he's got it all going out of the windup. A feel of every pitch he has. And he's had swing and misses with the fastball, the slider, the curveball, and the split.
High with a fastball at 95. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Not a sellout tonight, but a good crowd.
He's a Lincecum fan.
I remember last night, Pagan tried to throw some gum away. He said it stuck to his finger. And he got a ball up and in, and then he tripled, and then he had a pretty decent reaction at third. So I felt after my first cup of Starbucks coffee this morning.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, looked like strike 3.
That's how you are after every cup of coffee in the morning. All right, let's take a look. Just a little bit low. We've seen it called a strike tonight, though.
I would not take it again. Foul back. He's getting loose. That was at 96.
Yeah, he's always had a good fastball. I mean, Brandon Morrow's never lacked for stuff. And he averages more than 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's one of the premier strikeout guys in all the big leagues.
Foul.
97 on the gun. Hey, Gamer Babe made the play. That's right. Don't be shy. Simply put, she deserved to take a bow.
Pagan in a good battle right now with Brandon Morrow. So ninth pitch coming up. And the walk.
Well, you get 10 pitches out of a guy and you get a base hit or a walk, you win. And pitchers know it. Morrow had to work way hard in that at bat. He wound up putting himself in the stretch.
So here's Posey, who singled in the second inning. See if Pagan has thoughts of taking off. Buster down the right field line. That's going to be out of play. Buster hit a ball last night late in the game that we thought for a second that it was going to go out, but it was heavier as the game went on, and it kind of died in front of the wall. But he hit it very well.
He got it. That's how a park can demoralize a hitter.
And a base hit to left field. So, for the first time in this game, the Giants have a runner in scoring position. And the next two guys that are coming up, Morrow struck him out in the second. So here's Crawford. Good speed at second.
That's so close to a balk. I keep waiting every year for baseball to remove that deke move that guys start their motion, drop their leg straight down, then spin around towards second.
Well, they did change the runners at first and third, the fake to third. That one they finally canned.
And they took it away. But the rule book says you're not supposed to be able to deceive the runner in your move, and that is clear deception, and it comes without a throw. I mean, it's risk-free for a pitcher. Good split. So he opens up the at-bat with a big curveball that could have been a strike, and he comes right back off the curveball with a split. So clearly Morrow not afraid to throw anything anytime.
Crawford, double play ball. And Jerko will throw to Alonso, and that'll end the inning. Spangenberg, Kemp, Upton coming up.
be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, the NL West rival Rockies are in town to kick off the first homestand, and on Wednesday, the 15th, it's a night game. The first 20,000 fans are going to receive a 2014 World Champion snow globe featuring the triplets, the 3 World Series trophies, and it's courtesy of Comcast Sportsnet. sfgiants.com/tickets. This is Spangenberg, who taps this one slowly to Lincecum, and he will shovel it to Posey. And that'll bring up Kemp.
Remember, it was Spangenberg who got the only hit in this ball game, and it's about as funky a hit as we've ever seen.
Yeah, started out in foul territory and spun back into fair territory. So here's Kemp.
This is the only hit of the game for the Padres there. It goes well into foul territory, comes back in, and that's a thing.
Kemp bounced out to McGee in the first inning. There's a strike. And he went around, 0-2.
Oh, rough strike there. Larry Vanover, the first base umpire. All right, did he go?
No.
It's a rough strike.
Were you asking the audience or me?
I know what I'm going to get from you.
Crawford? Got him. What a nice play. He's been doing it since Monday, folks.
It's just steady highlight every day from the glove of Brandon Crawford. And he knows he's going to get some heat put on the play with the speed of Kemp, so he's got to set up quickly. Crossbody unloads a strike to Buster Posey, and it's not even close. It's so smooth, it's so easy. He makes it look easy, and the guys that appreciate it are the pitchers.
Here's Upton, who struck out in the first. And Upton goes around, and it's 0-1, and now he's unhappy.
All right, let's take a look at this. Did he go? I know what you're going to say.
No, I'll be honest. Next pitch will be number 48 for Lincecum. He's only walked one. Too high. High again. It's Derek Norris on deck.
Oh, that's nasty. And that's 3-1. It just gives you an idea of the feel that he has with his off-speed stuff. And that's what we saw him do all spring. And that was a fork ball, a split finger fastball, rather.
Crawford's got it, and that'll end the inning. Through 4, 0-0.
you by Casino Matrix, Silicon Valley's premier 24/7 entertainment destination.
It is 0-0 as we go to the 5th. McGee, Blanco, and Sanchez to face Brandon Morrow, who's been good. He struck out 5. He's walked 1. First pitch swinging. Spangenberg. 1 out.
Well, I think you're going to see the Giants become more aggressive early in that count. There's an example of it. The guy's getting 4 pitches over that he can strike you out with. You've got to be aggressive early on. You do not want to get into a 2-strike scenario. And both pitchers can make that claim.
Blanco hit a high hopper to Alonso at first and was retired. And it's high, so it's 2-0.
Pagan talking it over with Sir Bam Bam Yuns. I think he's bragging about his 10-pitch walk. That's something you can brag on.
It is. Absolutely. And the line drive right at Amarista. And that'll bring up Hector Sanchez. The Giants will be at home on Monday. That is their home opener. And we've been requested by Mario Alioto to remind all fans who have tickets for that game is please be in your seats by 12:45. It's a 1:35 start. There'll be a pregame show that you just will not want to miss. Comcast Sportsnet area is going to be on the air at noon if you don't have tickets. So 12:45, be in your seats. Obviously the pennant flag or the World Series flag will be hoisted up, and you know the Giants in their ceremonies, they don't miss. The pitch is wide. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So 12:45.
There's the shift that they employ to defend against Hector Sanchez. They leave Amarista the shortstop at shortstop and bring Spangenberg to third baseman, and he comes over to the right side of the infield. And he's the infielder closest to second base on the right field side, which I always think makes sense.
It does, until you talk to Ron Wotus, and then he shoots you down.
But leave your shortstop alone.
Two and two now to Hector Sanchez. Might as well why don't we just go to the 11th inning?
No, well,
seriously.
Hey, it's San Diego. Runs are hard to find. There's Ron Wotus. He's the great protector of his infielders. If you offer a critical opinion, you are going to have to fight him.
Into the shift for Jerko, and that'll end the inning. Derek Norris will lead things off. Giants home opener at the stick. Vitabu pitched a complete game 7-hitter, 2 earned runs, 7 walks, 6 strikeouts, and with the game tied at 2-2 in the bottom of the ninth, the 2-outs stretch. Delivered a pinch hit single to tie, and then John Tamargo followed with a pinch hit 2-run walk-off. Giants won 4-2 in front of 56,196 people. Here's Derek Norris. And a strike. So where are your 2 seats from Candlestick? In the backyard?
No, they're downstairs in the den.
The man cave?
Yeah, I had to figure out what I'm going to say to describe it.
Hit out into left center field. Aoki on the run, and he's going to make the running catch. I didn't think he was going to get there, but he does.
Well, he had to come a long way for it. They're playing him straight away and left, and I mean, he has got to run a 50-yard sprint to get to this thing completely extended. And I agree with you, partner. I didn't think he had a chance to get it. And that's all he's got. Beautiful play. And that would have been at least a double to lead this inning off. The defense behind Lincecum has been fantastic tonight.
So here's Yonder Alonso. And the first pitch is wide, 1-0.
But Lincecum has helped himself out. I mean, he's throwing strikes. He's worked quick. You do that, your defense is going to respond in a positive way behind you.
I'm making Aoki run the other way, but that's out of play. Towards the hole and a base hit for Alonso.
Now how big was that play Aoki made? So a 1-out single and Lincecum goes right back in the stretch. Not a whole lot of worry or concern about Alonso stealing a base at first. I'll tell you, look at that fine defensive play from Aoki, using every bit of that glove to take extra bags away from Derek Norris.
Here's Jerko. Jerko struck out in the second. And a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Fifth inning here at Petco Park. The park where runs go to die.
Well, it's true. And the thing about this ballpark, I mean, it plays a little hotter during the daytime. Balls jump a little livelier in the daytime, but when it starts to get towards evening and you get the marine layer coming in and the air gets heavy, it's difficult to hit them out.
Runner goes, and the pitch is in the dirt, so it'll be a stolen base for Alonso.
Well, Lincecum didn't pay any attention to him. We talk about the unlikelihood of Alonso going. I mean, if you have to make him stop, you have to make the guy know that you see him. If you ignore him, he's going to get a huge jump. And it also helps that when he does try to steal, there's a ball in the dirt.
Fouled out of play. 1-2.
Used to have a pitching coach used to say, assumption is the mother of all screw-ups. And if you assume as a pitcher that that runner is not going to go, and you ignore him, he's going to pick you clean.
Absolutely.
And in a 0-0 ball game, I mean, that's a big 90 feet. Alonso now in scoring position.
Got him.
So Lincecum basically says, fine, I'll strike the next guy out.
Well, he's got Morrow, the pitcher, on deck with first base open, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would have to believe they're going to intentionally walk Amarista.
Right now, Sanchez looking into the dugout, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
And in an intentional walk, come set, check the runner, and then throw the ball. Don't goose it, throw it, like Lincecum did right there. Believe it or not, there is technique about how to issue an intentional walk. Well, if you're looking for the best coverage of San Francisco Giants baseball, log on to csnbayarea.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the Giants' 2015 season with breaking news, video, special features, and much, much more. You can see Alex only on csnbayarea.com. There's Alex Pavlovich.
Here's Morrow, who struck out looking in the third, but he did take a couple of healthy rips.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. So I'd say stay out of that spot in the strike zone.
Well, that was the happy zone, no doubt.
Lincecum had Alonso leaning. So that's the play Mike wants to eliminate.
Yeah, I don't think that's altogether fair.
And then I want to eliminate the intentional walk, throwing 4 pitches. Just send him to first.
Well, I don't think any pitcher will argue with that. If my records are right, Brandon Morrow's never had a hit. You look at that swing, I don't know, that's hard to believe. He's only had 14 at-bats with his whole career being played in the American League. And he is 0 for the big leagues, with 6 strikeouts and 14 at-bats. Starting to understand a little more.
Well, likes the fastball.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to see another one.
On the ground to Crawford. And that'll end the inning. The Padres strand a pair. Terrific play by Nori Aoki. It'll be Lincecum, Aoki, and Panik coming up.
you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company. The Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Typical score here in San Diego, 0-0. Lincecum, Aoki, and Joe Panik. Lincecum bounced out to third in his only at bat. And he shoots it into the hole, and Amarista's got it. And Amarista's throw is a good one.
Nice play. Amarista has a great arm, and he knew he had time. Let's go, not getting down that line that well. A little one hop to a backhand, sets up, unloads. See, that's the big leagues. It's kind of a prerequisite to being a shortstop at this level. You have to make that play.
Yeah. So here's Noriaoki, single, and he struck out. Runs up and he takes a strike.
The strike zone has been pitcher friendly tonight, but it's been consistent.
And it's down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Panik on deck. And a base hit to right field for Aoki.
Yeah, and the beauty of that swing right there is how long the bat stays in the strike zone. I mean, he's got a flat swing, but he keeps it in the strike zone a long time. Now, his lower body's gone, but the hand stays back, and look at how flat and how long that bat stays in the zone. And here's the result. High leg kick, but he gets it down early.
I'd like to see what ounces he uses. It almost looks like it's fairly heavy.
Yeah.
I see these T-shirts, Mike, and although it doesn't say what my favorite Giants T-shirt says, it just remember the Icy Orange People T-shirts? That was my favorite.
Icy Orange People, yeah. Well, we did see Orange People.
Here's Panik, who takes outside and low. I'm not sure they have those at the dugout store anymore, but they sure have a lot of other things.
Oh, the dugout store is amazing. I always go to the dugout store every home stand.
I know you do.
It's fun.
Quick toss, and Aoki just got back. Bud Black is coming out. I'm not sure what for. Oh, they want to look at it. I got you. So they think they got him. And they're going to take a look at it.
I think they got him.
Yep, they did. This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
This place is going to go up in a cheer here in about 30 seconds. They're replaying it here on the big screen. If I'm okay, I'm heading back to the dugout after watching that. He's out. New addition to the review. You can review the pickoff plays. And we're going to see more and more of this year.
2 down.
And that is a punch in the stomach.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot of it.
So 2-0, not a panic. Late. Panic reaches, it'll be Pagan.
I'm not sure how well Panic's seeing Brandon Morrow.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
You can just sense that his back leg really hasn't been timed to him, even on fastballs.
And he chases that pitch in the dirt. And Norris will block it. And that'll end the inning. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order coming up for the Padres.
Brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
No score here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Myers, Spangenberg, and Kemp. Myers has seen 2 pitches. He's flied out and bounced out. You can draw a line, a straight line from the catcher, pitcher, second baseman, center fielder. And the first pitch is high, 1-0.
Well, that's the line you're talking about. Sanchez to Lincecum to Panic to Pagan. I always thought, if you're the second baseman right here, why don't you start doing jumping jacks?
Throw your glove in the air. There's certain hitters that might step out and ask you to move.
Oh, I've seen it. I think there's certain hitters that would ask a pitcher to move so they can see better.
And that's a base hit for Myers.
Second time tonight that the Padres have gotten that leadoff hitter on base. With Spangenberg the hitter, you might see a bunt play put on here, or at least a play put on where they start a runner.
Yes, you could.
In a 0-0 ball game, Bud Black tends to be a bit more aggressive. You can see or sense what Bruce Bochy is thinking with a throw over. That was called by the bench. Myers not a big base stealer. He had 6 steals last year. Of course, he only played a half a year. But still not a big base stealer of reputation. But if you're Lincecum, you've got to pay close attention to him.
It's 1-0. McGee is in at third, thinking there might be a bunt. So I'm going to foul back, and it's a ball and a strike. Outfield straight away. Look out into the seats, 1 and 2.
Heads up indeed. Well, Brady's smiling. We're good. We're good.
.75 pitches for Tim Lincecum.
It's about right.
Ooh. Spangenberg with a healthy rip. Might go up a little higher, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, you've got that option. You can climb the ladder with fastballs above the hands inside corner. You could go down the dirt with any one of the 3 specialty pitches he has. Don't have to throw a strike.
Runner goes. Swinging a foul back.
That upsets you when you're a base stealer? You have a great jump and a guy fouls it off?
Yeah, well, you can't be upset too much if a guy's got 2 strikes. But if it's the first or second pitch, yeah, you could take a pitch. Let that guy get into second. You can see as a hitter, even if you're a left-handed hitter, if that guy got a good jump or not. He goes again, and it's fouled out of play again.
Well, he goes on his belly on a slide again. So Will Myers getting a workout.
I think he just dropped a little bit of a doggone it.
Yeah, or something like that. I don't think he's really enthusiastic right now. If I'm Bud Black, the Padres manager, I'm straight steal.
High, and of course the one time Lincecum goes out of the strike zone and Spangenberg doesn't swing, that's when Myers isn't going.
No, that would have been a good pitch to throw on if you're Hector Sanchez, the Giants catcher. But you know what? Maybe Bud Black sensed that there was going to be an elevator fastball. Picking the right pitch to steal on, I mean, that's It's part of it.
Two and two. So becomes a very important pitch.
Well, and you got to believe he's going to run.
You would think so. This will be the 9th pitch coming in this at bat as Dave Righetti gets on the phone. Runner goes. Got him. Throw. Got him. I don't know. We'll probably get Bud Black thinking about taking a look at this.
Well, if you are challenging and you're successful,
they got him.
I think they got him.
I mean, if the throw beat him, I mean, if he tagged him, he's out, and it appears that at least he came close to tagging him.
Ron Copa, the second base umpire, making the call. He's out. I don't think they're going to overturn that one. But if you keep making challenges and you keep winning, you can challenge all night long.
Nice throw by Sanchez.
He really did. I didn't think they had a chance, but as we've seen Sanchez throw all spring long, he's really been throwing the ball well. That one is not going to get challenged. So a strike him out, throw him out. Boy, how things can change in one pitch. And that was a 3-2 count.
I didn't see. What was the pitch that he threw?
Split.
Was it a split?
And a good one.
Here's Kemp. And Kemp takes a pitch up and in for a called strike. Boy, a lot of double plays last night. A lot of double plays tonight. Hammered. Okay, makes the basket catch. And that'll end the inning. Nothing ball game. That shouldn't surprise anybody. Lincecum's been good. So's Morrow. He's been good. Aoki's got a couple of hits. And Alonso's got a base hit as well. 6 strikeouts for Morrow. And for Lincecum, he's got 5. both with good stuff tonight as Pagan's going to lead things off.
Well, you're right. I mean, they've had good strike zone for pitchers tonight. It's been a big one. It's been a consistent one. But both pitchers have really had command of all their weapons.
First pitch is wide to Pagan, who drew a walk in the 4th inning. He lined into a double play in the 1st inning. Two and 0. Buster Posey on deck. Buster's got a couple of hits tonight. Check swing by Pagan, and it's 2-1. Pagan probably would have liked to have taken that because it very well could have been ball 3.
Yeah, you hate to give away a strike and a 2-0 count to a check swing, especially to a fastball.
Three and 1. This was the play that ended the inning. The ball hit right at Aoki.
Boy, he really broke back on the ball. Did not get a great read, but he had time to regroup and come in and almost hit him in the boiler.
And the walk.
You can see the anger from Morrow. A leadoff walk. Second time tonight that Pagan has worked a walk. And Lincecum coming in, giving a high five to Aoki for that play. A top spin liner coming at you. Times can get caught in the light, and it's not an easy ball to judge for an outfielder. And as fast as it was coming to Aoki, he didn't have a lot of time to regroup, but he did.
So here's Posey. 2 singles tonight for Buster. One ball and no strikes. Pitch count wise for Morrow, he's got 77. Nope, 2-0.
There's some activity, lots of it in the bullpen for the Padres. Right-hander Sean Kelly and left-hander Frank Garces. Padres bullpen had to eat up 9 1/3 innings yesterday, so they brought up a couple of arms today. And DLD and Kennedy, who went out of the game yesterday in the 3rd.
3-0. Well, Mr. Posey is going to sit on a pitch right here.
Yeah, he is. And, you know, it's great when you are Posey. You don't have to look for the okay green light from your manager. You've got it. You're going to look a pitch, you're going to look a location, and if you get it, you are going to try and unload.
And the walk. Here comes Bud Black. No, that's the pitching coach, Darren Balsley.
Yeah, I think Bud Black has the same situation the Giants have. When you see Dave Righetti going out there, if you're a pitcher, you know you have a chance. If Bochy's coming out, you don't have much of one. And Bud Black sending out his pitching coach, pretty much the same deal. First 2 walks, actually the second, third walks of the night by Morrow. Pagan has walked twice, and now Posey. But boy, 2 quick walks here with nobody out, and you put yourself behind the 8 ball by putting a man in scoring position for free.
Well, Crawford was in this spot in the 4th inning, except there was 1 out when he hit, and he hit into a double play.
You don't often see the 5th place hitter bunting, but you might see it right now.
You know Crawford's sitting on a fastball. And when it comes out of Morrow's hand, it looks like a fastball.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great split right there. That's been a good pitch for him against lefties all night tonight. After watching that pitch right there, you might see the bunt sign come on.
Well, you're right, partner. However, now it puts Crawford into a big hole. No score here in the 7th. Pagan and Posey have walked. Got him.
Finished him off with a curveball. 0-2. You go back foot out of the strike zone, and look at the snap on that deuce. That's a good one. Runner at second base, nobody out. A strikeout pitcher pitching for a strikeout, and he gets it with his curveball. Beautiful. 7 strikeouts now for Morrow.
So here's McGee. McGee is struck out and he's bounced out. No balls and 1 strike.
If he was looking fastball, he wasn't looking middle in. He was looking middle away. I think he was looking soft. The way they pitched him the whole series, they started him off with a steady diet of off-speed stuff. And I think he was sitting on it on that first pitch. Well, that was some paint. He went right on that outside corner with knee-high gas. And Norris hardly has to move the glove. So now you get short and protect.
Two and two. Gregor Blanco's on deck. There's Blanco. Good speed at second in Angel Pagan. On the ground. Nice play. That's 1. That's 2. Upton's going to lead things off.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years, and you can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Go to MLB.TV for details and check it out.
Here's Upton. Upton takes inside. Norris on deck, and then Yonder Alonso swing and a miss. Upton hit a bullet to Crawford in the 4th inning. Lincecum struck him out in the 1st.
Oh, good pitch. Just a bit high. You can tell by the reaction on Lincecum's face, he wanted it. Looked like he backed off a little speed on that curveball, just sort of flopped it up there. Slow pitch softball style.
Upton chases this time. It's 2-2.
So you take the hanger and you swing at the one in the dirt.
Because you think the next one's going to be a hanger again. Bounced up the middle, and a base hit.
Giants had played up to Pole on the left side of the infield and exposed the middle of the infield. Just a little C&I ground ball right between Crawford and Panic. And the Padres get their leadoff hitter on base for the 2nd inning in a row.
So here's Norris. Norris walked in the 2nd and hit a fly ball into left center that Oakey tracked down. And skies this one into center field. And Pregame put it away. One pitch went out, and here's Yonder Alonso.
Yusmeiro Petit stretching out the Giants bullpen. Giants bullpen pitched 5 and 2/3 innings yesterday, but they have 8 men in the bullpen.
Runner goes, and this is going to be a steal for Upton.
If there has been an Achilles heel in Tim Lincecum, it has been his inability to hold runners on. He just gives you too much time to steal. High leg kick, a lot of motion, and he just cannot get rid of it quickly. And Upton totally took advantage of it.
Next year, after Mike has his sit down with Mr. Manfred, they will not have that play.
Thinking about writing a letter.
So that pitch is down low.
Now they're going to intentionally walk Alonso. And I think it's just because of the swings that Alonso has had against Lincecum.
So Alonso takes the walk.
With Jerko on deck
And 0 for 2 against Lincecum with a couple of strikeouts. A pretty easy decision to use that base up. But if you're Jerko, I mean, you've just been challenged by Bruce Bochy.
Well, he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Big first pitch, slow curveball. This is up and away. The thing about Lincecum with all of his specialty pitches is if he keeps those down in the strike zone, all of them can get ground balls.
Off the end of the bat, foul. So Lincecum now with an even 1 ball and 1 strike count to Jed Jerko. Lopez joins Petit. Upton at second. Alonso at first. On the ground to McGee. McGee to Panic. Panic to Posey. And that's a double play, and that ends the 7th. It's 0-0.
Homestand April 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And the Tuesday-Wednesday games are both 7:15 starts. The final game of the series, Thursday, April 23rd, is a day baseball game in the city. A 12:45 start. The rivalry renewed in San Francisco. Check it out, sfgiants.com/tickets.
No score when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Joaquin Benoit, the new pitcher for the Padres. You see mid to high 90s fastball with a hard slider and a changeup. Setup man for the Padres.
Facing Gregor Blanco, who's 0 for 2. Benoit pitched an inning last night. He allowed a hit and a walk. Guys got some people on against him, but he did wiggle out of a 1-inning mess. Foul back and out of play.
Well, his life changed dramatically, right before spring training ended, when the Padres made that big blockbuster deal with the Braves, bringing Craig Kimbrell, the closer, who's had more saves than anybody combined the last 4 years. And Benoit went right into the setup role. He was the closer.
Little pop up into shallow center field, and Jerko just made a great catch.
Wow.
That is a terrific play.
Well, it's kind of been the theme song for both teams this whole series. We've seen some incredible defensive plays. This one just going all out towards center field at the very last instant. Just swipe your glove right across your upper body and come up with the Easter egg. And Joaquin Benoit digging it. Whoa, good play. Took a hit away.
Here's Sanchez. Sanchez shortens up to bunt with the overshift, and he takes high. Sanchez is moving that right hand. He's moving back and forth, squeezing. I don't know how you can ding it up on a bunt attempt.
Maybe he was hurt going up there.
Pops this one up. It'll be Amarista. And he'll put it away. That pop up to the shortstop or third baseman? So here's Maxwell. Maxwell had the big hit in the 12th inning last night. Judging by that swing, Bruce Bochy sent Maxwell up there to take a rip.
Yeah, he's trying to hit one out of the ballpark, no doubt. But against Benoit and every other Padre reliever, you're going to see stuff away. They're challenging you to hit the ball out the opposite field. If you see a fastball middle in, it's a mistake, unless it's off the plate at the hands.
One and two.
Big sweep and slider, and Maxwell cannot lay off.
Little squibber out to Alonso, and Benoit with a nice inning here in the 8th. Giants have a new pitcher. It's 0-0.
0-0. Time now for our player of the game, brought to you by Honda. Tim Lincecum continues his dominance against the San Diego Padres. 7 stellar innings tonight, 4 hits allowed, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And Tim Lincecum, he is our Honda player of the game. Just as we saw him all spring, had a nice command of all of his specialty pitches. And tonight I thought he spotted his fastball on both sides of the plate pretty well. All in all, he's got to be pretty happy with his performance.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Jeremy Affeldt, the new pitcher now for Bruce Bochy. 3rd time that he's come into a game. He's been perfect.
And Middlebrooks lines this one to left, but right there is Aoki, 1 out. The atom ball to Aoki has been a really good play for the Giants tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's Varmus.
Ever since this ballpark opened up, it's been a tough place for the Giants to score. It's just the way it's been.
There's a strike to Varmus.
Talk about how the conditions change here at night. It's a little bit tougher to hit balls out of the ballpark than it is in daytime. They have moved the fences in twice since they opened the doors at Petco Park. They moved him in 11 feet the first time, and then this last year they moved him in another 4. The move this year was really from left center in left center field. They didn't do a whole lot to right field, but still, I mean, they're conscious that this is a pitcher's ballpark, and they wanted to make it a little more fair for the hitters.
Varmus hooks this one foul, and they lowered the fence in left field as well, a foot.
I mean, that's a lot of money for 4 feet and a foot.
I agree. So you're saying if you're going to do it, make it 10 feet.
You know what? At least to one side of the field. If you're so starved for offense, and last year they were the worst offense in the National League, which is why they went out and tried to improve that with bringing in Justin Upton and Will Myers and Derek Norris and Matt Kemp.
On the appeal, no swing, says Larry Vanover, and it's 3-2 to Varmus. So Affeldt now has to come into the strike zone. And he will not. Kimbrel in the bullpen.
He's going to pitch the 9th inning no matter what. Obviously, being the closer, if the Padres were to take the lead, you'd see him in the 9th. But even if the score remains 0-0, he is going to pitch that inning.
Myers singled in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. And he takes a strike.
Affeldt, a good sinker, throws a lot of ground balls, and he can get ground balls with all 3 of his pitches, the curveball as well as the fork.
Blanco back. Blanco will play it off the wall. They're going to wave in Barmes, and he's going to make it. The ball gets away. Sanchez is hurt. And the Padres take the lead.
Ball hits about halfway up the wall. Blanco gets it to Panic. And as the ball goes up the line, Sanchez tries a little swipe and drops his left arm right in the front of Clint Barmes. And really got his arm and his shoulder jerked. Just a desperation play. He never got to the ball. But boy, he took an awful shot to the arm.
So it'll be an RBI for Myers.
I mean, it was a do or die play trying to swipe into it. I think he's okay. Anthony Reyes, the Giants trainer, out there looking at him. Really got kneed right in the forearm. The glove went about 30 feet up the baseline at first base.
Solarte is going to pinch hit. So Giants will play the infield in. It's a 1-0 lead for the Padres here in the 8th inning. And a foul, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
You're going to watch Jeremy Affeldt try and pitch for the strikeout here with runner at third base with 1 out. If he comes up with the play, I mean, they have a chance to get him, but I don't think his glove ever touched the ball.
Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing.
Rainbow curveball. One more look at the collision.
Tapped to Crawford, who looks to third and throws to first. Stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants postgame live. You get highlights, reactions to this game, analysis, and it's all coming up right after the game. Here comes Bruce Bochy. Affeldt's coming out. Giants trail by 1, and we'll be back.
come into San Francisco Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, 7 p.m. It's going to be a Yahoo Sports Talk Live from Plaza at 5 p.m. Pregame Live at 6:30 p.m. to see all that on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. First 500 fans will get a cheer card and a World Championship foam fist. So do not miss that. Say hey Tuesday.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up with great experts.
New pitcher now for the Giants, Yusmeiro Petit.
Petit, his history against Kemp. Kemp is 5 for 19 with a double and 2 home runs. And he goes around, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Nice block by Hector Sanchez. Sanchez straps on that gear every night, and he pretty much knows he's going to take a beating. With a runner on third base, you cannot let that ball in the dirt get by you.
And then Kemp accidentally hits him in the head with the bat.
Just to stay in shape. Ball hits you on the bare hand, and the batter's hit you in the head with a bat. Watch the bat.
0-2. One ball and 2 strikes.
Trying to sneak attack on that inside corner, and I mean, he did not miss by much. One thing we've learned about Kemp over the years is he will guess with 2 strikes. Like a lot of power guys, they will look a pitch and they'll gamble even in a 2-strike count. I mean, it's house money right now. The Padres have the lead, so he can do that.
Got him. Petit comes in and gets the strikeout, and now we'll go to the 9th. Kimbrel's coming in. And the Giants need a run to tie. And it'll be the top of the order coming up.
with Game 3. It's a 5:30 start. Pregame live at 5 p.m. We'll see a game right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. On the hill for the Giants will be Madison Bumgarner taking on the Padres opening day pitcher James Shields. Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, the home of your world champion Giants.
1-0 Padres. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up in brake experts.
Craig Kimbrell, the new pitcher now for the Padres. Still looking for his first save in a Padre uniform. High velocity fastballs and a slider. And if you're Noria Aoki, you're saying, you know, this guy's tough enough to hit, but when you expand that strike zone and put me in the hole 0-1, that is not right.
Panic to follow. 20 innings, 2 runs.
Yeah, it doesn't figure to be a whole lot different tomorrow with Bumgarner taking on Shields. Game time at 5 o'clock. It'll be tough to see. Shadows.
Two balls and 1 strike. Tyson Ross, no day at the beach on Sunday. There's Panic. Pagan in the hole, and then Posey.
One of the more intimidating setups to get a sign in the game. I mean, he stalks the hitter. Kimbrell.
Right at Middlebrooks. 1 out. And that'll bring up Panic. Middlebrooks is in the game, so is Barmas. Joe Panic 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts.
Now, it's hard to believe that a guy would rather see Kimbrell than Brandon Morrow, but I think it's the case with Panic.
I think you're right.
He was not seeing Morrow at all.
Plus, you can be a pretty good guesser facing Kimbrell.
He's going to sit on 1 pitch, dead red, until 2 strikes. I mean, Kimbrell will flop a slider over there. And he gets a lot of strikeouts with it down below the strike zone.
And a base hit to right field. And that'll bring up Pagan.
Well, in yesterday's ball game, it was a spirited confrontation between Kimbrell and Pagan. Got to a 3-2 count and he hit a triple. When he slid into third base, he let out a little primal scream. And Kimbrell locked eyes with Pagan. So I have to believe there's a little extra something on this at bat.
Buster Posey on deck. No balls and 1 strike.
1 to measure, 1 to ring. Derek Norris setting that target on the outside corner. The thing about Kimbrell that makes him so special with the high velocity is he has outstanding command with corner command.
And that's down low. So that's the first off-speed pitch we've seen.
And that's not that easy to take, really, when you're gearing up for 97. You're cheating and starting early. And he gets a lot of people to swing at that hard bite and slider in the dirt.
Alonso holding on panic. It's a ball and a strike, and there's a soft toss.
There's the pitch usage for last year. 73% of the time you're going to get a fastball. And even at that, he's tough to hit. Very tough to hit.
Down the left field line, this is going to slice foul. Yeah, McGee hit into a double play. It really saved the day for Kimbrel. And then Pagan was heading back to the dugout, and Kimbrel to the dugout. A little eye contact, a little John. No harm, no foul. It's 1-2 to Pagan. So Pagan stepped out briefly, but now back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hit up the middle, could be a pair. And that's the ball game. So a 1-0 win for the Giants yesterday, and a 1-0 win for the Padres tonight.
It has been all about pitching. It has been all about defense. But you hate to see 7 solid innings by Tim Lincecum go by the wayside. When he's playing the Padres, he has always been magical, and tonight he again was.
So the final score here tonight, Padres 1, Giants 0. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live starts right now.